Thank you and good afternoon. This is Sam Vaughn for Sam's Sports Report. And in the NBA championship last night finals, the Denver Nuggets took home the first NBA championship. But before we start with that, I just wanted to share how great of sportsmanship the Nuggets were and celebrated with giving the Miami Heat hugs. MVP of the series, Nikola Jokic, and everyone else gave them the Heat credit. Djokovic was possibly the most humble person. He scored 28 points and 14 rebounds and got the series final MVP. Jamal Murray was very excited. He did not have his best night. He finished with 14. It was not a great night for him. Yesterday we did the best that ever was. Michael Porter Jr. at Missouri. You can tune into that on the video. He scored. Michael Porter Jr. chipped in with 16. Final score was 94-88, a low-scoring game for the amount of points scored in the NBA today. In the NHL last night, the Las Vegas Knights won their first championship in Stanley Cup championship with a blowout 9-3. I think first-year players after they got the cup. I think first year we got scared of losing and wanted to win it for the forward. William Carter said, the player, we've been through a lot this year. We've been through it all. But the most important thing was the player said is that we are part of a championship foundation and we are building blocks for themselves fully had and added for his maintenance budget. Fine players were the first team effort to lay low logo and low maintenance. Las Vegas wins their first professional sports championship.
You know, players today in football, regardless of the quarterbacking position or any other position, they're much larger. They got into weight programs. Hank Stram, my coach, was the first coach that hired a strength and conditioning coach the year round. Nobody had done it in professional football, and this is back in the 60s. Well, nowadays, you know, there's weight training in high school. I never saw weight until Hank showed up with this guy, you know, and that's through high school and through college. But that is a big change. But that's just human beings are larger today than were 30, 40 years ago. And as far as the quarterbacking position, there's another aspect of it. I used to call the plays. Not that I made them up, although some of them I did occasionally. But you don't find a quarterback in Pee Wee League, in high school, in college, or professional football that calls a football game. Maybe they can check off a play that doesn't look like it's going to be worth running it because the percentage is not working. But that's the two things that I see. You know, the quarterback doesn't have complete control of the game. The game now is controlled by the sidelines. When you take a look at these colleges, Missouri, for example, they don't even get into a huddle. I mean, the quarterback and the receivers and the linemen are all looking at the coaches over there, telling them what the play is going to be, what the blocking is going to be, and all the routes, what the routes are going to be run. So they don't even get into the huddle. So that's a big change. That's a change that, from my point of view, isn't necessarily the best way. You got to have a leader out there. And the leader should be your quarterback. In order to lead, you at least have to gather these people together to talk to them and to discuss things, and also get their input. What's wrong with asking an offensive lineman how he can block somebody? Nothing. I used to do it all the time because that lineman knew better than I how he could handle that guy. So I would prefer it that way.
We got the ball, boys.
Well, I had film. You know, film will break. And so I got a story about the New York Titans, who became the Jets, but they were the Titans in the American Football League. And Harry Wismer owned the team. He was a broadcaster, and he ran out of money. And so they only had two projectors. and when one broke, the offense perhaps was using it, and they had to wait for the defense and vice versa. So today, everything is on tape. It's instantaneous. You can stop it. You can do things. So much better today than it was back when I was playing. So that part is really improved, making your preparation a lot easier than it was back then. Let's hope that they have the rest of the people together on the three phases of the game so that they can be competitive each and every week and they can bring back a championship to Kansas City. I'm not getting any younger. I'd like to see another Super Bowl championship team.
How Len Dawson changed the game. Len Dawson was, of course, the Chiefs quarterback. He made the AFC relevant when the NFC was clearly a full-cut favorite in Super Bowl III, which is what it's called nowadays. No longer would they be compared to the down leg. The Chiefs of 1969 won the Super Bowl. During his nearly 60 decades of playing and broadcasting, Chiefs Len Dawson left his mark on generations of Kansas Cityans. The star, our readers, for some memories of when he the cool and delivered big time. We heard more than 100 people detailing everything. Dawson claimed calmness and composure of the field of kindness, humility. We learned the Super Bowl was formatted into memory for a lot of you. One of the readers' fathers purchased a family first color TV watch. Even Minnesota Vikings fans wrote about Dawson. He told us was the kind guy who introduced himself as a young man. The elevator after just leaving the doctor's appointment, he'd call back the kid who wrote an essay about him, a school assignment, right back to the child, sent him a Goodwill card when he was injured. He even picked up one of you up when you're hiking or riding home. Halloween was slightly different at his house. He would hand out his cards, football cards, and sign them on Halloween. She grew up near where Len Dawson lived, and that Halloween, all the kids in the neighborhood would knock on his door, and Dawson would answer himself and give the kids a chat, hand him a candy bar, and hand him his football trading cards. He was always so kind, broadcaster, and what a kind man he was. He signed my card on Halloween. The selfies together, locker remembers of a fan on his phone. Reader Terry Payne wrote that he played against the legend and beat Dawson in 1988's softball game, but even though Dawson lost, the quarterback's arms told the show. During the flight, she overheard a conversation between Dawson and two exchange students who loved football and had no idea that they were talking to a Super Bowl MVP. Once they traded a $1 bill for a $100 bill and signed the $100 bill. In 1970, when Len Dawson was named the MVP, the moment was love for the game, and he said instantly admired, feeling inspired, went to play football for 13 years, but what he did was described Pacheco, now a fan of the Kansas City Chiefs, his wife, whom, while she was vacationing in Mexico, from KCK, he has been the Chiefs ticket holder for more than 36 decades. After the Super Bowl victory, Pacheco had the opportunity to meet Dawson after the game, and his story was how to watching his first game led to playing and meeting his wife brought him to the home of his favorite team and player. He recalled Dawson saying, "It was humble me that I've had so much influences somewhere here of the Hall of Fame. My football hero telling me he was humble next week, as the NBA championship is wrapped up and the NHL championship will wrap up in the next few days, we'll be slowing down a bit, and I'll put what's on schedule, what's on tap for that week. This is Sam Vaughn for Sam Sports Report.